Hello. In this video we want to review the mechanical vibration switch MS60 from Yekan, and later we have a simulator here to better see the performance of this switch on the simulator. Stay with us. Here we want to review this simulator. Here, the specifications of the AC motor that we have are written, approximately the AC motor. Right now at 195 volts AC, the motor is in stop mode. If I press the start button, this motor will run. This can represent a cooling tower. For now, let's stop it. Here, two mechanical switch specifications are written. Now, through 24 volts DC that is supplied from this power supply, you can have a remote reset for this switch. Now, remote reset or delay coil. Let's review which one is used where. This switch here is SPDT. Alarm 1 is for SPDT, and if it was DPDT, alarm 2 would also turn on. This is also the remote reset indicator light. In the first step, we start the motor together. As you can see, it is rotating. The duty of this switch is that, for example, it is connected on the gearbox or its electric motor. The vibration that is applied to it must shut it down. Now I have increased the sensitivity of this switch so that we can show the condition better here. We apply a hit. The first micro switch is activated because it is SPDT. The motor is taken to stop mode, and this contactor has acted and shut down the motor. You either have to press this push button locally so the switch goes to armed mode again, and then press the start button again. If vibration goes beyond the limit again, look, now no matter how much I press start, it doesn't work anymore. The switch prevents it. You can reset it remotely, meaning by pressing this now 24 volts that gives command to it. This voltage can, based on its datasheet, be selected 24 volts DC, 48 volts DC, 110 volts AC, 110 volts DC, 220 volts AC. The voltage is selected based on employer's requirement. We reset it. When you reset, the remote reset light turns on and the alarm turns off. A sound also came which shows the switch has been rearmed, and I can again activate my motor here. Another discussion we had is for starting rotating motors. Now for a cooling tower or any other rotating motor, we have a resonance issue. For example, your switch is set on 2G or 1.5G. The resonance of the rotating machine is, for example, on 3G, you want to start the motor. For example, it reaches to resonance, the switch shuts it down, and this loop keeps repeating. You have two ways. Either the mechanical switch is accessible and you hold your hand on this local reset. And here, no matter how much I hit it, its alarm doesn't turn on anymore. And that switch and that rotating motor pass its resonance speed and reach stable, and then you release your hand, which in many cases is not possible. For example, the mechanical switch is installed on the cooling tower gearbox, and this is not possible, and with the smallest hit or resonance speed it activates. Or you can activate the remote reset from distance. Look, I kept my hand on the remote reset and its light is blue. Now no matter how much I hit it, this switch doesn't activate and doesn't work. And it can pass the resonance speed and the motor reaches stable state, and then the remote reset, which is also called delay coil, for this matter, gets deactivated and the DC or AC motor we have gets activated. Here you see the adjustment screw. Now I can reduce its sensitivity. Look, now the sensitivity decreases. Of course, for adjusting these mechanical screws, we use big shakers, 500 Newton, which exactly based on customer need. We can determine this set point to be on 1G, 1.2, 1.5 with resolution of 0.2 up and down. Now I reduced its resolution a little. Look, such hits it doesn't detect anymore. Now I don't know exactly how much I set because I don't have the possibility to connect it to the shaker now. I can in another video and in general adjust it with shaker. Now I hit much harder. Let's reduce the sensitivity more. Look, Now its sensitivity is much less. Vibrations of this level it doesn't detect, and it needs a much stronger hit. This 0.2 G up, 0.2 G down. Frequency 0 to 300 Hz is its working range. It has frequency response. Now let's open it together. You can see its wiring diagram on its cover. For remote reset where it is connected, this model is SPDT and it clearly shows normally open, COM and NC. And for more information, you can visit our website. One important note. In general, mechanical switches, if their adjustment screw is external and accessible outside of the box or its cover, you should not adjust it without the cover, because when you put the cover, its sensitivity changes. This is an important point. And COM, normally open, normally closed, all three are connected, and remote reset sends the command to these two contacts. Here also you can specify your gland type based on your need. For example, M21.5 I want. Several models are specified so you can apply your gland and put the conduit. Now here conduit is not used, and at the back here you see the base. Again, refer to the datasheet. Different bases are available, so you can say I have this mechanical switch and want to install it instead of which other mechanical switch. For example, Metrix, Murphy, Robert Shaw, and you choose the base that exactly bolt-to-bolt installs in place of your previous mechanical switch. One thing you should consider, the working range of these switches at their best is from 0 up to 4.5 or 5G. Now why do I say up to? All mechanical switches, if you notice, one says 0 to 4.5, one says 0 to 5, one 0 to 7, because its mechanical system is spring and magnet. This spring over time its elasticity changes, its work changes, and that switch range changes. Now the current switch from 0 to 4.5 is its best working range. Maybe I can say 0.2 G resolution. If it wants to work up to 5, 6, even 7G, it also works. But its error range reaches 0.5 G. We have different switches like Murphy or Metrix. Now for example, the Metrix that we have here, its error is plus and minus 1 G. While here we talk about 0.2 G and 0.5 G. Meaning if you want to use the switch in 5G or 6G or 7G, you have 0.5 G error. But this Metrix switch supports up to 16G, but its error range is 1G plus and minus 1G. It has low resolution, but it covers more range. Based on the need, you must decide which type of switch to use where. Thank you for being with us in this video. If you have questions, you can call the company number and the sales and technical team can guide you more in this field and help you. Thank you for being with us, and don't forget to like and subscribe.